Open for radio. Stay open.
We don't disagree as much as I pretend.
Okay. Well, Ace, before you get out of here,
yeah, go ahead.
So, what's more important to you when you look at the consoles? When you look at what's coming out, look at the capabilities of the new console, right? Mm-hmm. What's more important to you in regards to value, right? Graphics, is gaming difficulty or accessibility?
Well, for me, it's going to be content and what the console can do, how it can benefit me, regardless. Now, I know a lot of people didn't like to talk about this, and a lot of people think this is minute, but with the Xbox One, I like the snap features. I like those things that provided me convenience. I could be talking to you on Skype while I'm still playing the game.
We got you.
So basically, providing the features that I like, that's actually going to provide a convenience to me in playing the game. Like, I love the snap features. I know people didn't like that. But that, as well as content, constantly producing software for the system. And to be perfectly honest, giving the content a little bit of lifespan. As powerful as this thing is, and I know technology changes and expands with the future, if I'm going to pay $500-$600 for this doggone thing, I'd like to keep it for a while. I don't want to go ahead and trade off and buy something in 3 or 4 years. So that's what's important to me. I mean, is this thing going to complement my lifestyle?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Will it complement your lifestyle? Okay, so you want the flexibility. Sounds like there's a lot of things you were talking about. You want flexibility to kind of do what you want it, kind of engage with this thing how you want it.
Think about it. When the Xbox One came out, that was so cool that I could be watching The Walking Dead, and when the game was ready, it popped over and said, "Hey, your game's ready." I could swipe back over to that game and start playing.
Yeah, and that was a cool feature when we had, like you were saying, Ace, Snap feature, or whatever. Like, I know, and I know they understand that not everybody uses Snap feature.
Yeah.
Not everybody uses picture-in-picture. But it was a real bummer for us that actually did use it. You know, Scar was talking about before the show started about the Netflix plugin
exactly
on Google, and that party system. Like, we used to use that, you know what I'm saying? And I think that in the translation of us being consumers and our voice being lost or being muddled with everybody else, is that we're losing features that are very, very good for our community. You know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, we could have been killing two birds with one stone by recording a podcast and having a Netflix party, because Netflix is so prevalent now. You know, the reason why they took away Netflix parties was because Netflix wanted to get that money. But now Netflix is so prevalent. I mean, it's a household name. Everybody has a Netflix account. Like, if you talk to somebody and say, I ain't got a Netflix account. What? You ain't got Netflix? What?
I always tell people I'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. It's just the simple. It's just the simple.
That's the pistol thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just the simple fact that nobody was doing that and it worked. You don't have to use the damn thing if you don't want to use that feature. Don't do it.
You know how much absolute hilarity came from some of the Netflix parties that we've had in the past. And like,
that was cool.
One year we watched The Exorcist on Halloween, and we was just laughing at how bad it was. I mean, comparatively, how bad it was. It was like, y'all was scared of this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that was the most fun I've ever had. And then like, with the plug-in, like, there was years ago when I lost my job and my girlfriend moved up here to Richmond, and I was still in Hampton. We used the Netflix party just to watch stuff together and just to connect on that level, because it did something. It did something to have us watching something at the same time.
Here's my point, and this is I'm just going to end with this. Here's my point to what Scar just said. It gave me value. It gave me more value than just a gaming machine. I understand it's a gaming machine. I understand it's supposed to be that. I understand that's the focal point. But it gave me more value of why I paid that much money. That's just me.
And that was why they had that initial press conference that was panned, because they told you that. They told you it's more than a gaming machine, and they was
Yeah.
like, "Well, no, I want a gaming machine."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times they said up front, you know, this is going to be more about the specs, about the console, what it can do, what our vision is, and then at E3 it's going to be games.
Mhm.
But
that's another story.
Right,
Go
right.
ahead.
Well, what I kind of rose into the one of the last points is that E3, Gamescom,
Mhm.
PAX East, PAX West, PAX South. What does that look like in light of everything that's going on with this, you know, COVID-19 virus?
Mhm.
And also too, even before that, like numbers were dwindling.
Yeah.
It was getting smaller. It was getting to the point to where they were only inviting VIPs, journalists, elites.
Let me ask you a question. Why did all of us stop going?
I can
That's a
tell
good
you.
question.
I could tell you what's gonna happen though. I've already figured out how this thing is gonna work. Bro, you have Twitch and Mixer and all these online streaming things, man, where when people actually actively engage, they get rewarded with like prizes and things like that. I mean, TennoCon, people for Warframe, they do it all the time. If you watch on a certain platform, everybody who signs up and watches, go in, link your account, get you some free stuff, man. Like, this is how it's gonna happen for Evo this summer. You know what I mean? If this thing isn't resolved by this summer, which let's hope it is. But if it's not, like, how you gonna replicate that crowd? They're yelling when something happens. All you can do is get in a big like chat room or whatever and have people have audio coming in, right? You gotta have a moderator to run it.
No, what you do? You know what you do? It's been done before, and I don't know why no one has ever done anything like this again. You set it up as a 1 versus 100.
I was just gonna say that, yeah.
Where you
That's
have
how you do.
you have like the people actually playing, but like everyone else that's like in
Spectating.
as a part of the spectators, like, and it's kind of the same way. There's an episode of Black Mirror.
I knew you were gonna go there, 'cause that's
Where it's like that. It's a bunch of people that are they're in like their little rooms, but their character is represented as the person cheering or jeering.
right.
That's
What's
how
gonna happen. What's
you
gonna
like for Evo. Guess what? You just gonna have to run a whole bunch of cables, put them all on the same flow, but y'all gonna have to play from y'all room.
Shoot, when I was on Mixer and they gave me I won the Taken King, and I just was in there for 5 minutes. I was like, well, shoot, let me keep watching these things.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's what I'm saying. Like I think that it will definitely change because, you know, you got Microsoft and we didn't talk about this, but you got people and I'm sorry guys, but we are not picking on Microsoft, and I want you to know that because we all own Xbox consoles and everything else, whatever. But like in terms of the decisions that they've made, but that's sort of beside the point. But Microsoft will sign. I think they signed Ninja for like $9 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Like, like work that had $9 million had been spent,
No,
but they're
more than that, bro.
Huh?
Nah, Ninja to a Mixer.
Yeah, it was like something. I mean, it was multiple $50 million.
It was like a $30 million deal, bro.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Man,
even
shoot,
worse.
you can give me that, I'll take it.
Right,
Let me
exactly.
straight.
But when you look at the landscape of where things are going, you know, kind of what Scar point said is that things are going this way. But it does kind of suck in terms of like I wanted to be able to gather around my friends. I've never met Scar in person before. I've never met really a bunch of the people in the community in person before. But I feel like we can do
have
that.
you met Ace and realize how short he is in real life?
Oh,
yeah,
would
yeah.
you stop it, damn it.
He be going on about that. He cannot believe.
But yeah, that is pretty much what I
Y'all messed up.
you know, I would miss or whatever. But the Scar's point as well is that I haven't all right,
Forget you, damn it.
all right, but I haven't went to any conventions lately, mostly because of family, because of everything else. But also too, like when I think about it, I'm kind of jaded, man. Like because I've been there, I've done that. Like if I do go to a PAX South again or to a PAX East or whatever to meet somebody, it'll be for my kids, you know, so my sons can have the experience of meeting people and going through the booths and everything and actually, you know, getting that physical interaction. But it wouldn't be for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Because you kind of.
I mean, or if I go, like I remember the last PAX South we went to, we didn't even spend time at the convention. Like, we spent time talking with each other in the hotel room, going to restaurants, chit-chatting, talking about grown folk stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't even...
It wasn't a convention. It was a community.
Even that PAX East that all of us were at, or a lot of us were at, the most fun that we had was like in the restaurant where we ate breakfast.
Right.
Recorded stupid videos where we convinced the waitress that Ace Black was somebody famous. Like, and like the just walking down the street trying to find the restaurants because Blue was the only person looking all of this stuff up. You know, like the most enjoyment, it was like the camaraderie that, and like, you know, the people that I met there and sitting in those cases, because once you get on the show floor, everybody kind of goes and does their own thing, and part of that experience is the experience that you have as a group activity.
Right.
It no longer became an overall group activity once you actually hit the show floor.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but I think that as humans, because the argument has always been made that you know, gamers, they've always made fun of us with this classic gaming trope that, you know, that we're all just, you know, people that stay at home with our moms, and we live in the basement, and we don't have no jobs, and we just got these neck beards, and we're just doing whatever the case may be. But that's a lie, because everybody, and again, this goes back to the original point. If gaming is no longer niche, then everybody's a gamer. So if everybody's a gamer, then that classic gamer stigma cannot be leveled anymore, because we're all in it together, but we do different things. Like, I was looking at the average gamer, quote unquote, on Facebook, and the average gamer is a 42-year-old mom that stays at home. You know what I'm saying? Like,
my girlfriend is, you know, she plays a bunch of games on her phone, and she plays games, you know, for a lot of her free time.
Right.
She would never consider herself a gamer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, like, she plays a whole bunch of phone stuff with a bunch of ads, and I'm like, why are you doing that? But she would never on that level consider herself a gamer, even though she plays games way more than I do.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like, and so they would argue that we're not social, but I'm like, we are more social now than I feel we've ever been. I just think that this transition from standing next to the Japanese kid in the arcade and you trying to beat him and you popping your quarters in, to now, you know, gathering around each other. Because I mean, I feel like I told my wife, I said, I really don't have any friends. I said, but I feel like I know people like Scar and Blue and Ace and everybody else more than I know people in regular, everyday, close life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You know, I mean, I've called Scar. I've reached out to him about daycare stuff with my daughter and raising a daughter and everything, talking about different things in the past. I've reached out to Blue because we got sons, and just different things outside of gaming where we have performed social things without ever even having that one-to-one continual interactive meeting or whatever. But so I think, you know, in terms of that, I think that it'll grow and it'll be different, but it'll be, I don't know. I mean, in some sense, it'll be better, you know, as far as the sociability.
Yeah, I think, and a lot of it is, I've said this on many occasions, and I didn't realize this until that PAX East where everybody was there.
Yeah.
Is like, you know, you're friends with these people online, and like, you don't realize that through your online interactions and being on podcasts and all of this kind of stuff, you don't realize how much you actually really do know these people. Like, we talk about anonymity and all of this kind of stuff, but the people that you're closest to actually like are themselves in these spaces. And like, I ended up in a hotel right next door to Blue.
Right. Right next door.
And when we saw each other for the first time, like, it was as if, like, I still knew Blue.
Yeah.
I didn't know how short he was, but I knew Blue.
You know, you're always talking about someone. I was like, damn, that scar thing. I was like, damn, you got a big head.
But I guess we can sort of roll into, I guess, this last one. You know, I'll start it off, but I want to make this kind of thick. Like I don't want this to be like a farewell.
Hold on, because we only asked Ace what he was looking for when it comes to these new consoles, and I just wanted to give a quote from the great hood philosopher Lamilton Tayshawn. I want to do hood rat shit with my friends. Like, shut up. That's all I really want to do. And like the new console,
okay, sorry.
And they want to play games. I just want to get in and do stuff with my friends.
So I'm so sorry. You have to give the listening audience context about LaShawn.
Lamilton Tayshawn.
Tayshawn,
was a 7-year-old who took his grandma's car on a joyride. And his character was also portrayed in the Boondocks. The Smoking with Cigarettes episode. That was a lot of that was based off of real like web and viral clips.
Right.
So like, and like that. They asked him why he did it, and it's just like, I just want to do the stuff with my friends. Like it wasn't like it was like really simple. But I look at it as he's like a ghetto philosopher to me. You know what I mean? Like
that ghetto Freud.
Oh my gosh!
You think about how much you do with like, I know like some people who like get with their friends and they go to the bar and they drink and they have a good time and stuff like that. And it's basically that same thing. It's like, why do you go to the bar all the time? Because I just want to hang out with my friends and just kick it and just have some fun. And it's just the same concept. It's just in a hood way. I just want to do hood rat stuff with my friends, but like it's the same thing. And I think that's what's going to lead me to the new consoles when they come out. Now, it's probably going to be some time before I get the PlayStation. I'm definitely not getting the PlayStation first this time. The PlayStation, I got the PlayStation first because I got a bonus. It was $400, not $500, and that was the difference in the prices at the time.
Right.
But I think it's really going to be about my friends and my family, because I play a lot of Division with my cousin right now, and it's about like,
please share the games. Boy, that saved us a lot of money.
Absolutely. And it's just about it's about that aspect of it. It's more of a social thing to me, because I don't really enjoy playing console games by myself. I don't like playing versus. I would rather play co-op, but it's still a communal experience that we're having.
It's funny that you said the hood thing, because I remember me, Blue, we was all making like little like team up saying, okay, what game you getting? I'm gonna get these 3, you get those 3. I mean, we kind of get met up and was trying to find which games we're gonna get because of the game sharing feature. So you're like, you get 2, I'll get 2. No, I'll get 4. You get these 3.
Mike and I did that. We did that. I'm like, Mike, I'm picking up God of War. He was like, cool, I'll play it.
Exactly.
And then I played it for a good couple hours and I ain't never touched it.
I think it's a combination of everything. As I get older, my gaming habits are changing. I like different things. I used to play games sometimes that I did not like because I wanted to, I guess, impress people. I used to play games that I didn't like or wasn't too fond of because I wanted to have that gamer score or that trophy, to show it off to people and show how much I did. But like now, I'm like, I don't care I don't care if I have 10 gamer score on a game. Like if I'm having fun and I'm playing the same mode every single time, I don't even care no more. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I have totally changed in that aspect, and also too, I'm pretty sure all of us can speak to this, but I want to get a little personal with mine. Is that everybody knows I work for a large company. Forget it, I'll go ahead and say it.
The CMB.
I work for Bank of America for almost 10 years of my life. Put in time, did everything from every single executive level that you can think about, and I was in a very not bad place, but when I lost my job, man, like I was knocked down a lot, and I'll just be honest, and I'll just say, thank you to God, and also for putting a lot of people on this call in my life, is that me and Ace was game sharing, you know what I'm saying? So there was a long stint where Ace would buy games, and I'm like, man, I don't know how I can thank you, bro, because I was going through tough times, and I'm like, I'm still able to have this luxury.
Yeah, he used to call me and be like, man, go ahead, Ace, get that game, man. You balling so tough. I'm like, all right, man, I get it, man.
But I was joking, but I was like, man, like I really appreciate the game sharing feature because that got me through a lot of tough times. It was a little bit of levity in that dark place of having to try to find a job, having to try to relearn skills. And even now, like I'm in a pretty nice position. And the business venture that I'm doing is somewhat successful, but like I said, I'm pretty sure that we all can speak to that, but it's like those things put into perspective a lot of stuff for you. Well, at least it did for me. And I'm like, some of this stuff just it's not as important to stay on Twitter arguing with people. Right. It's just not as important to invest in a conversation that's going to last me 2 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours of my life when it's not going to come to anything. And I'd rather invest those conversations into people that I actually love. And I'll put my feelings on Front Street. I love y'all, man. We've discussed things that are personal, that are close to us. We have endured, people losing jobs and family members, and just crazy amount of stuff. So I'm like, why would I invest any time into a game, into a person that I don't know, I'm never going to see, rather than investing in games that I do enjoy, that I'm going to get fun and actual enjoyment out of. And I think that's been my perspective since 2014. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
I think I went through something not similar to you, but at one point, my life got completely changed. And it was on top of that was losing my job at a certain point. Right. And I had the same thing, like the same thing that happened to you happened to me. If it wasn't for the people on this call and the people that are in the chats, and I had another chat that gave me the idea for the chat that we had. I had another chat with some more people, and there were days where I was depressed and things were just falling apart and I couldn't sleep and stuff like that. And there was a couple of people in the chat that worked nights, and they would always be there to just to be able to talk to. If I wake up in a cold sweat at 3:00 in the morning, I know I always have somebody there to talk to. And it wasn't just about the gaming and stuff like that, because a lot of the people that are a part of both chats were from people that I played games and podcasted with and stuff like that. A lot of those people came from those places, and that is the power that a community could have.
And it's the power we still have too. It's just amazing, man.
But the community at large doesn't have it.
No, we have that. Because when I lost my job in Knox Blue, y'all remember that, how depressed I was. It was just when y'all sent me that text saying, hey man, we got you the Assassin's Creed, the Unity, and Black Flag. Stuff like that touches you. I'm like, man, we know you kind of hard up for money. We went ahead and put this together for you. Stuff like that. But my wife even told me, baby, why'd you stop the game nights? It just wasn't it wasn't the fact of the game. It was the fact that we were all together, like we were at a bar, hanging out, chilling and talking.
But then we also do stuff on the opposite side, where I actually let Blue use my kills on Shadowfall, and I didn't really want him to return it. That kind of stuff.
And I returned it. So I was like, here you go, dog. And then he was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm gonna send it back. I'm gonna send it back for real.
I think the most touching thing we did was when we got Blue the Xbox. That was was hot, man. Because I was hanging back this generation. I was not jumping in. I saved up all the money I needed for PS4, but then the week of, they were like, well, YouTube ain't gonna be here on Jump Street. And a couple of other features ain't gonna be out here on Jump Street.
You know how long it took me to get a YouTube app? You know how long I was complaining about
that? I was talking about that YouTube app forever, boy.
Make it facetious. But then I was like, okay, well, I got money. I'm just gonna go ahead and build a PC, and I did. And I built a PC, and I was gaming, and I missed being on the game nights with these fellas. And they got me the Xbox One. I mean, it was like $500.
Me and Knox was fighting over your address day by day, boy. We was like, no, that's not what he stays. And me and Knox was just going at it, like,
But it was great though. It was great.
But see, that's the beauty, and that's why I want to lean on this before we get out of here, is because that's the beauty in it. Is that through life experiences, we have, in our own way and in our own differing ways, found value in what we hold to be what's valuable to us, right? And I think that that's in gaming just in general, right? You know, we always poke fun at each other. You know, Sega does what Nintendo, Xbox, and ponies, you know, Sony's ponies, or whatever the case may be, or whatever. But we never took it to a level that we saw other people taking it to, and still taking it to. Like we said, you know, dudes that are, you know, 20 years my senior is still talking about this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
We never took it. We never took it like the way that liberals and conservatives talk about each other.
I'm going to add to this now is some of the people that every once in a while I still game with, like Knucklehead and whatever. They still ask me, when are we all going to get together again? They miss that stuff. This is a side note. I found out why this person was stalking me on 3 consoles. That's another story. But I found out why. You know, he misses us being together. Mm-hmm. That's why he does. That's why he's still looking for that.
You're right.
And people still look for that. When we were playing the Division 2 and we were getting killed and it was fun, and we were trying to do it, and people just jumped in the party just to hear us. That stuff right there. They don't want to hear that console war stuff on Twitter. And it's just that stuff.
It's hard to where it's hard to find something real, you know. And even when we're talking about, and that's kind of, you know, that's kind of crazy when we're talking about, you know, finding something real when we're talking about gaming, which we play imaginary stuff all the time. But I think that the outer surrounding elements of the community of what we've made
is the Division 2 imaginary as of right now.
I know.
Absolutely not. I'm telling you, we got an Aaron Keena in this world somewhere sitting around here laughing.
Yeah, but like one thing that I was you know, one to sort of talk about is just for me, when I look at the next gen consoles, like I'm really at a loss. I don't know what to buy. Like, and I'm sort of the opposite of Scar. Like, I buy consoles when they launch, every launch. This is the first generation, and of course, I'm going to show my fanboy flag here. But it's not really, right. But this is the first generation where my wife sat me down and she said, "Do you need a PlayStation?" She said, "You play with your boys all the time." She said, no, seriously.
Get serious, boy.
She said, "You rarely played your PS3." She said, "It sits over there now, and you use it as a Blu-ray player." She said, "We watched some good movies on it, but you didn't never play it." And I was like, she's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, and I got the money now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can drop $400.
We know that, man. You got 50 inch in your car.
He ain't got his camera on, but you know when he said that he was body rolling, it's like, I got 400. You know what I'm saying?
throwing money in the fireplace, saying, "I got the money now." You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's like pop locking, like, you know I got that.
Yeah. No, I'm like Dave Chappelle. He got over pregnant. She called him. She said, "Dave, I don't think we're gonna be able to do this." He grabbed that money and put it on his chest. Oh man.
I'm almost taking the Scar approach of it. I'm not running out to get it at launch. I mean, personally, but what do y'all think? I don't know what y'all are gonna do. But I'm not gonna run out and get it at launch. I can tell you that right now.
Yo,
the only reason why I would buy it anywhere near launch is because it's backwards compatible, and if I can still play what I'm playing.
Yeah, I think
that's the only saving grace for like my even remote interest in either of these new consoles.
Right, exactly.
Well, actually, one of them I ain't really that interested in the other.
Right, just call it what it is.
Well, I'm interested in it because of the fact that there are always new experiences that we come in contact with. Even though this generation, I've been sort of disappointed, really, with the whole generation, because I felt like, and this is my own personal thoughts. I don't speak for the group whenever I say this, but I feel like, and it's going to be a broad stroke, and it's going to be very, very harsh, but I feel like in terms of games, I feel like this generation is an utter failure because of the fact that both Sony, Microsoft, and everyone in the community were chasing resolution dreams. Yes. And now there's a new conversation being started up about hard drive speeds. Solid state drive speeds. This is ridiculous. We talking about load times. We talking about pushing memory. Like, come on, bro. Like, stop it, bro.
When you have a presentation of a new console in 30 minutes is designed around a hard drive. even for a developer, which it was intended for. The 30 minutes of a presentation was around a hard drive.
I wanted so badly to say I disagree, but I can't. We just had a mid-gen refresh, and we're still disappointed. Yeah. Really?
So I think what happened is, and what I already said. I said this in the chat already, but like if you look at it, and this is what some of us have been saying for a long time. The focus on power stagnated innovation.
Yeah.
And we needed innovation. We needed something new. And the only thing new that came out of this generation was new ways to get our money.
That was it.
Yeah.
New revenue streams is what came. Every generation introduces something new.
Exactly.
The 360 really capitalized. Now, the original Xbox really introduced multiplayer gaming, but it was the 360 that took it to a different level. Parties and things like that. So now you have that, right? And then toward the end of that, we started coming out with patches, right? Because then, the original Xbox 360 was only like 20 gig hard drive, right? You know what I'm saying? Or it was a no gig hard drive and then like a 20 gig hard.
It was a no gig and a 20 gig. You got it.
20 gig. And then it kicked up, and then people figured out I could buy a laptop SSD and put it in there and make it any hard drive size I want.
Bro, I still got my 512 memory card right now. It's right here. Right there. Yeah. I still got a 512 right there.
Right. But the multiplayer came through, and now this generation, what was found and what was discovered is that you can keep giving the consumer the exact same thing in a slightly different package, and they're gonna pay for it. Right. Better yet, they'll pay for it, and they'll pay for continual access for it instead of actually outright owning it. And we'll make them pay for it monthly.
You know what this generation is? I got the best. I got the best analogy. This generation, the gaming industry.
Hide your kids, y'all.
Read the book by Iceberg Slim.
Pimpin'.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Why is this? Go ahead, Alex.
Well, one game of this generation that I have a love-hate relationship with, and I think that speaks volumes throughout the era of this generation, is the Assassin's Creed.
Oh, I thought it was Halo
franchise. No, I mean, well, you can say too, but I think the Assassin's Creed franchise is more apt because you have Unity that came out. It was completely broken. It was terrible. It was a meme for like the first 2 months. You know what I'm saying?
The face.
Right. Exactly. Like then they passed it, and then they passed it to death and everything else, whatever. Then you had whatever the next one was or whatever. But it was like they were making these things, and it's like, look, bro, I don't want a bigger world of Assassin's Creed.
Right.
Just fill up the world that you already gave me already.
Right.
Stop making it bigger. I don't care about the 7 sands of the desert in the Sahara over there. I'm not gonna even see that. Like, just fill up the areas that I'm in now. And I think that was but then Ubisoft took that to heart, and they basically used the same map from Far Cry, and they made Far Cry Primal, which is a different game, but basically the same map. And then they made Far Cry Blood Dragon using the same. And this is, this kind of goes back to Ace's point. It's like, but what do you do when you have an interview with IGN and GameSpot and whatever podcast you go on, and the first question they ask you is not about, what did you guys do to develop this thing that made the game better? It's about, have you guys figured out what resolution it's going to be at? Can you guys do 4K?
Why are they so consumed with power?
It's like when you go back to the studio, you're not focused on adding those 16 other people in the scene in. You're focused on hitting a target number. And we suffer because of that, and gamers suffer because of that. And so as far as my personal predictions, like, I think it's going to be about power, but I love the fact that these consoles, I predict that these consoles are powerful, and that because they are so powerful and because there's nothing to really argue about, hopefully, I pray that small minority, that loud minority people who are very, very vocal will be sort of out of the conversation, because what they're arguing over is so minuscule, right? So I like the fact that they made these consoles as powerful as they could, so that way that takes away the conversation and it frees the developer to be able to do what they want to do. And so I feel like we've gotten over the hump of 1080p, over the hump of 4K. And so now developers can take a breath and they can develop games that actually,
is that going to actually change anything?
That's my hope.
When the biggest problem is everyone chose their side. They chose their side, and they're just riding for their side. And,
but the lines are being blurred now. You know, you got
the lines are being
cross-play, cross-save.
The lines are being blurred. But like, let's be honest, like, a lot of the problems have come from the fact that, especially this generation, people have 100% chosen their side.
I agree.
And they're not budging. And no matter what, like, the fact that it took you a couple of years to get a YouTube app doesn't matter, because I chose my side on it.
Hashtag salty.
and the pieces of the puzzle that you got to take out of there. People are still going to keep watching Digital Foundry.
Well,
yeah.
I guess what is your thoughts and I guess your predictions for this next generation? Because we always do this, and
I don't want to predict anything.
What is your hope?
You don't want to know my hope. I hope that we are finally getting closer to our one console future.
Hashtag, that's what I was gonna say. Dennis Dyack, like, that's what's gonna happen. The man has been proven to be more and more right every 6 months. It's like, okay.
When you say one console future, do you mean different manufacturers, but nothing disparate between where you play?
I think the different manufacturers will be a problem, because like the Microsoft Playbox and the Sony Playbox are still going to have those issues with each other. But I think that as long as there isn't a real difference in the Playboxes, we will be okay.
Right.
But I think this whole battling with each other over consoles is foolish, and I think it should be ended. Someone should take both consoles out back and shoot them, and it's like, okay, like, before y'all shot, like, we made y'all have sex and make another box, and we we took some genetic material and we decided that we were going to create something else.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So that is also probably one of my hopes, but my predictions, things that I think will more likely happen, is what will happen is that we won't maximize the capacity of these consoles for at least 2.5-3 years. It's going to take a while before people can get the amount of power that
shift.
It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while before we get the amount of power that can support the power of these consoles, get a game that can maximize the capability, the potential of these consoles. I think that's going to be the first thing. I think secondly, the easiest thing for anyone to do is to try to jump on their side, and I think that's going to happen out the gate, and people aren't even going to hear about the other side. So I just don't know. I don't know how PC gamers are going to stand in this, but I know for me, my prediction for my own behavior is that I'm going to wait and see, and I'm going to wait and see what the PlayStation 5 does. Because I can play everything Microsoft has on my PC and enjoy the world out of it. So that's what I'm waiting on. I'm not in a hurry to buy a box. I'm in a hurry to buy a $50 or $60 a year gaming subscription. I'm not in a hurry to do that. And so that's what I'm going to do. If most of this stuff is going to come out playable on the PS4, then so be it. It will rock on my PS4 Slim under my TV until I get a PS5. And that's only presuming that underpowered console will be able to do some math, right? So, but I think that's where it's at. And also, they will outperform PCs for a long time this generation, at least until the Radeon cards from Amazon from AMD come out for PC later on.
Bro, Digital Foundry had to get a 2080 Ti in order to match, or rather build a box that would beat the Xbox Series
That's
X.
a $1,200 graphics card. People.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
like that's
$1,200 graphics card.
So I'm for me, that's the reason why I'm torn.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, and this is a problem with these stupid ecosystems, man.
Yeah.
I'm stuck. Like, if I want to jump somewhere else, I'm going to have to take a long look or a long thinking process, because I'm like, gosh, dog, I got this whole digital library, and if I move, it don't work over here, or I can play with my friends over here. I'm like, gosh, man, like, and they got
you move to the PlayStation side, and PlayStation is gonna show up to your house, and somebody from PlayStation is gonna pat your pockets. What you got, dog? What you got on you? What you got on you right now?
My grandma giving them games.
My grandma giving them games.
He gonna cry in the car.
I think what needs to happen, that's, you're talking about what needs to happen from the industry's perspective, but I think from the community perspective, I think we all need to grow up, but not just grow up in the sense of like we need to start acting like adults, but like, that part in your life when you grew up and you actually like understood your parents, and you also understood that your parents aren't as flawless as you thought they were. I think that's what the industry needs to do, and understand that whatever side they chose, whether you were a single parent household, and you believe everything your mama said about your dad, or the other way around, like, you need to realize that they are not as infallible as you thought, and that is a part of your maturation process. Like that is a part of your process in becoming a well-functioning human, is understanding that your parents, in this case the gaming industry's parents, are Sony and Microsoft. Let's not make any mistakes here.
I mean, Auntie Nintendo doing it though.
Yeah, Auntie Nintendo is always going to be Auntie Nintendo. And when she show up, it's always fun and games and stuff like that. But like, just let's be honest, Auntie Nintendo will butter you up, give you all the candy and sweets and stuff like that, and send you back to your parents, because that's, because Auntie Nintendo ain't got no kids and don't want no kids. So she always gonna butter you up and send you back to your parents, because your parents is where you're gonna really get the real about who you are. You're gonna get that from them.
Do you guys think PlayStation is going to do the same thing where they say you cannot play this game unless you're on a PS5?
No, I think that they want to do backwards compatibility, but I don't think that they have the development team or the wherewithal to be able to do it. I think that's the simplest answer that I basically give.
Like, let's be honest, PlayStation Network is barely holding together. Like it's, let's be honest, they had so many iterations and so many chances to actually put in the changes that they needed to make for the PlayStation Network, and there was no comparison between that and Xbox Live. There was zero, none. There was no comparison. The only reason why PlayStation Network became what it was is because they gave you games. Yeah.
Well, I think that's more of a network issue, but I think in terms of backwards compatibility, I think they have some serious issues with trying to convert PlayStation 3 games and even some PlayStation 4 games because of the architecture. You know what I'm saying?
But go back to them trying to force you into PlayStation Now. If they would have did what me and Blue talked about this years ago, if they would have put PlayStation Now in the subscription, they wouldn't be having these issues.
Right.
If it was a part of the subscription, the way the Game Pass is a part of the subscription with Ultimate, and you get the Xbox Live and all of that kind of stuff in the subscription. If they would have did something like a Game Pass Ultimate and put that into their console, they would not be having any issues with backwards compatibility.
With the exclusives they have, that would have been a fantastic
they
idea.
would not be having any issues, but they wanted to push PlayStation Now, and they wanted to push it at a price that most of the people were not willing to pay. Hip Hop Gamer said this is too expensive. And do you know what that means for Hip Hop Gamer, a name I haven't spoken of in a very long time? But Hip Hop Gamer at the time said, this is too expensive. What are you doing? And for him to say there's a problem with this is a significant problem with your face.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, I'll basically end up with this, and I'll let y'all end up with this. There's a meme that's been going around for a long time, and it has like three, not stick figures, but like 3 drawn figures, and 2 people are sitting down playing games on whatever they're playing games on, and they're having fun. They're smiling, they're laughing, and then the person behind them just has this scowl on his face. He's just upset. He's just angry, upset, and mad. He's pacing around, walking around. He's yelling, hollering. And then, so finally, at the bottom of the last chart of the meme, it says, "Stop having fun."
Yeah.
It's like, who cares? Like, they chilling, they laughing, they sitting with each other chilling, and this person can't even enjoy the fact that they having fun with each other because they're pacing around because they're upset about what they're playing on. Or
and not even just that. It's like, I mean, look at the Star Wars community right now.
Right.
Like,
Man,
I still get suggestions to watch these "I'm going to flame the Last Jedi" videos all the time when I just watch one review after I watch the movie, and I still get suggestions on YouTube, my beloved YouTube, for those things. Like, it's crazy.
I'm not on PlayStation 4 though. But talk about the YouTube suggestions.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a shame, man. It's a shame because I talked about it a long time ago, back in 2007, before we even started a podcast, and I talked about buyer's remorse and how a lot of people feel like in order to justify the money that they spent, they got to put down somebody else, and that has worn thin. We put up with it all the last generation, and unfortunately, at the beginning for this generation, before they could even sell a console, it had already kicked back off. You know what I mean? This is how you trade a game, things and such like that. And so I find it problematic. So I'm not a fan. I don't look forward to the community coming along in this generation. Only I would say the kids, the younger generation coming into gaming, the younger people coming in, moving the average age and the curve down. I would say they would be a refuge, but they don't really understand what. I mean, like we talked about earlier, your kids don't know what a memory card is, So I think we can't rely on them. So that's just my 2 cents.
They don't understand the value.
Don't understand the value of a memory card or the value of having to have the game work, because you ain't gonna get 30,000 games a year.
I know what to do with her life when the Wi-Fi goes out.
My kids are the same way.
Her life,
same way.
Wi-Fi goes out, she is distraught. Like, for real.
I had my son tell me the Wi-Fi went out. That's impossible. What do you mean that's impossible?
Oh, that's great. Hey, fellas. Well, I don't know how we want to end this, but I thank God for all you fellas, man. This has been a blast, talking and getting stuff off our chests. We'll keep doing what we do, but I don't know. I'm so grateful for so much, and just going forward, man. I just like the fact that I have a cohesive group of people that I can confide in and bounce ideas off of, and they can talk me off the ledge when I'm about to go spend $1,000 on something I don't need to. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
$1,000. You know that purchase is $1,000, no matter what the console costs.
Right.
No.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. But I'm just grateful, man. And if anybody wants to catch me, I'm Knox Broadcast now. Now I'm Knox Broadcast everywhere. So PlayStation, Xbox, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. You know, I'm Knox Broadcast everywhere. So I'll leave you with that, and just stay safe, people.
Wash your damn hands.
Twice.
Sanitize.
Ace, go ahead, man.
All right, man. I thank God for y'all too, man. I know I need to kick back up in the game nights because we had a good time, so I'm definitely going to start that back up. Hell, we could do it tonight if y'all want. But I just want to say, hey, I'm glad we have our circle, and for the people out there, man, that still that game, but they don't take that stuff seriously. Hey, I just had love to have you in our camp because that's what we do. And shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to all the people at OFR. I know they're just doing their 500th episode and everything. And man, it's just amazing how far we've come. How long I've known y'all, man, for years. Y'all like brothers. Y'all like family, man. It's just amazing. I mean, my child, both. I don't even think my kids were born. That's how I knew how long I've known y'all. So just want to give y'all a huge shout out for that, man, and much love to all y'all, man. Y'all fam.
Right.
For sure. Look, man, I'm saying, I'll tell you guys all the time that I'm grateful for you. I don't talk to Mike much as often, but when I do hit him up, I'm like, Mike, how you doing? He's like, man, I'm good, B. So as long as he say he good, I'm like, all right, he good. Yeah, man, I'm really happy to have you guys around, man, be in my circle. Man, it's just cool because I always go to Ace and Knox, man, when I got a spiritual issue. But when I need a different perspective, I definitely go to my dude Scar, because as much as we have we think a lot in common, like we are very, very, we look at issues from different perspectives. Like we kind of saying the same thing in the end, but how he gets there is different. So it always forces me to expand my thought processes and think about things in a different way. I actually saw the problem the other day. I was like, what would Mike say? And then I came up with like something random. I'm like, you know what? I probably should do that. So yeah, man. But yeah, we need to kick up Facetious again, man. I'm no longer like volunteering at the church. So I have way more time now. And so, yeah, man, we're gonna have to do something again, just because it's fun being out here with people that I consider my closest friends, and we out here sensibly doing this thing and having a good time. So if y'all want to come along and join that, then definitely hop in with a game night with us, man. But it was fun to get back behind the mic again and just let it go. So, all right, Scott.
Man, look at here. Let me talk to the people. First of all, on the lower level, like, of course we fam, like, that's on the baseline. And it's not just like the people that are here right now, like I just started recording segments for the return, kind of a weird relaunch of EDG, the brothers over there. And like, the Scarcasm has been around for 10 years as of like mid-February. So I've been doing this for 10 years, and it feels a little weird to just be able to say, like, I'm still here doing the same thing after 10 years. But there's a certain connection that I have to this, and my connection to this is y'all. And the reason why I want to be able to have these conversations is y'all, not just like the people that we consider fam, but like the family that's not saying anything, that's just listening. It's a lot, and there's a lot that comes with this, and there's a lot that's a part of this. But like on just a base level, just being thankful to be able to turn on a microphone. To be able to have this microphone with the little fuzzy thing on it. When I really think about it, it all means something, and it means something to be able to have this kind of connection to people I haven't even met yet, like Knox. Even though I met you and Ace before, and you on multiple occasions. And like, so like we're having we're doing this, and this is fantastic. And what it should be is a foundation that we should build from, instead of constantly letting people come in and kick down the foundation with this whole green side, blue side thing. Like the idea that is what's actually like harming us, where we can be so much better. And the fact that we sought out each other in a smaller capacity to make ourselves better,
right,
is something that we all should strive for, that we all should be a part of, and we all should care about. And that's the most important thing to me. I think it is going to come down to us caring and us realizing that, like, at the end of the day, like when we have conversations about anything, whether it's politics, whether it's race stuff and stuff like that, at the bottom line, we all want really the same things. And in the gaming community, we all want to play cool games, and we all want to play cool games with our friends.
right.
And that's the baseline of it. And if it helps, I'm going to constantly remind you that that's what this is about. This is supposed to be fun.
Right.
This was always supposed to be fun, and let's just keep it fun. Right. And that's all I really got to say. Like, man, I just Scarfinger. Even though I'm on Facebook a whole lot more under my government name, but you can go there, go to Discord, go to I get the Scarcasm Discord is still out there, and like these places now that we have, like the Discords and the Facebook groups and stuff like that, and where people have retreated to, it's possibly going to be a good thing when we all decide that it's safe to go back outside.
Right.
Right. Yeah. All right, man.
And you know what? Go PlayStation. I said it. I could be a team player. Go PlayStation. I ain't buying it first, but you can buy it first. And I hope you have the best fun ever with your friends doing hood rat things.
Right.
Amen. Man.
So, well, thank y'all for joining us, man. We really appreciate it. I think what I'm going to do, I wrote the top down. I think I'm going to break it up to the three big groups that we have. We talked about the marketplace, and then we talked about the gamer a little bit, and then we talked about the power narrative from there. And we talked about this generation and what we think and predictions and things like that. So I'm probably going to break it up. I'm probably going to release them three different episodes, about a day or two between each episode.
Yes.
And because it's about 2 hours, man, so I want to break it up to make it real consumable for folks. And I'll release that. I'll have that going on out there. I'm not sure which feed. I guess I'll throw it up on Facetious feed. Mike, I'll send it your way if you want to throw it up on your feed. Knox, I'll send it to you. You can throw it up on whatever you got.
Yeah.
And then
they Knox, I have some content after how many years?
I know, right?
But we'll put that out there, and just I'm Blue Man Rule pretty much everywhere. I think I'm L Asbury on YouTube and Twitter, but I'm Blue Man Rule on everything else. So, but yeah, y'all just hit us up, man. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you thought. Let us know about this generation. What appeals to you? What you think is most valuable just to you as a gamer? Not what they told you is valuable to them or new features. Like, what do you want?
And if there's some dissension or you got a problem, like some people, at me, bro.
Right.
Like, say, like, if you want to talk about this and you want to discuss this, at me. Like, I ain't got no problem with having a conversation with you, and it ain't got to be about no rah or anything like that. Right. Let's just be some grown men, and let's talk about some grown man things.
Absolutely. And don't see my critique or my opinion as a personal attack on yourself.
Right.
Like, I've had so many conversations where you have a conversation with somebody and your opinion based upon whatever it is almost seen as a personal attack upon them because they identify with this thing so much that they've taken on or they've adopted this identity. And that's I don't know how dudes that are over 40 can do that, but
I don't see it. Let me say some things, guys. You are more than your box.
Exactly.
You're more than your body. Yeah, man. So that's really about it, man. I'll have a 3-day weekend coming up. I'll celebrate my 40th on Monday. So we're gonna hold this thing down.
I see you, grown man.
Yes, sir.
I see
yes,
you.
sir. Yeah.
See,
So-
now you gotta go get you some. You gotta get you some new Nan-Later Gators. You know what I'm saying? That match your Stetson. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, you gotta match your Stetson. And you can't have anything less than Stacey Adams once you turn 40.
Oh, from now
Like,
on, yeah.
You can have nothing less than Stacey Adams.
Nothing.
You know what? At what age is it appropriate to get those shoes that be in Walmart? They have that real thick sole on the bottom. They like black or like white. You know what I'm saying?
The
Like-
you talking about them orthopedic specials that Phyllis be wearing?
No, that's 60. You gotta make it to 60 to be able to wear those successfully. You know what I mean? Like, with the straps, like, bro, you can't have no straps on your shoes unless it came on like the around your ankle for your Nikes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't have your straps around the rest of your foot unless it's attached to like some Nikes.
No.
Nah, you gotta get it's Stacey Adams time now,
Yeah.
and you got to go get you some Steve Harvey Zoot suits. You know what I mean? Like, it's real. You 40 now, dog. Like, you got to. And some loud colors. I'm talking loud, like
the bright orange?
where you wearing like Easter suits every Sunday.
Every Sunday. Every Sunday. Even though I'm just
Every
gonna go sit
Sunday.
in my living room and watch
Every
Telechurch.
Every Sunday is Easter Sunday from now on.
From now on out, huh?
Once you turn 40, man, it's like that.
Am I wearing Zoop every day? Every Sunday?
Nah, I mean, like, and like, and if you cheat, go to Avon and get you some Mesmerize. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta get the Duke box with the dude with the great beard on the front.
You just graduated. You just graduated from Black Suede. Like, you got to get you some Mesmerize. It's like you 40 now. You can't wear Brute no more.
No, man. Bruce went out the window. But yeah, y'all come out here.
Curve is for young people. You can't do that no more.
No, I can't do it no more. Hey, my oldest was wearing Curve the other day, dog. Like, I wore Curve in college. He college age. He wearing Curve.
I'm gonna tell you something. All right, I'm gonna say this is the last. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. We all know why we stopped wearing Brute, right?
Right.
Because like the first drop of sweat and you smell like a brute. Man, I'm at the stove. I'm at the stove. Yes, a brute chieftain.
Yeah.
I was at the stove and I was like, I know that smell. What is that smell? And I was like, yo, this old dude in front of me got the brute with the sweat smell. Like, bruh, I'm gonna need you to stop wearing brute.
Right. Man. And when they walk by you and your mouth open, you're like, I'm done, son.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, everybody, that was an awkward end, but thank you so much. Thank y'all so much for joining us on this 2020 State of the Industry Gaming Roundtable podcast. Look, like I said, we're gonna break it up, but this will not be the last you hear from us, folks, on this mic here. This year we're gonna have some things going. I know Mike always busy, but he loves getting out there talking about this stuff
For real.
and I like the ropey man for real. And Simpson said what up, by the way. So
yeah, and Bill told me to tell you what's up. He was on Xbox Live and he popped in.
Yeah,
he told me to say what's up.
Yeah, what up, Bill Maintenance. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. For real, get at us. We can have a good conversation, man. That's what this thing is about. Let's talk about it. Let's have some fun. And well, man, what did I used to say? I don't even know what I said. Well, thanks for putting us in your ear. We'll be back in your ear again sometime here real soon.
I enjoy it in your ears.
See?
Let's get it.
Peace out to the Warriors, yo.
Peace out, y'all.
Open for radio.
What community sounds like.
Stay open.